Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Well, the weather's good enough to put this back outside, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be warm enough tonight, so they're going to stay in another night. So that'll be 2 nights. Yeah, the initial night it went down to 5. They'd have probably been okay with that. Well, they were because they were left out. But last night into this morning, I put the thermometer out this morning, it had gone down to 3. Now they said it was going down to 1 or 2 in this area. Well, it only went down to 3. That's still colder than I'm prepared to accept. Tonight, they've said sort of 5 or 6 degrees, so I'm going to leave them in again. They're not doing any harm, but I will want to put them out tomorrow. I will want to put them out on Sunday, because obviously I want to do the Sunday chat in here. So they'll probably stay in at least tonight, Friday night, maybe Saturday night as well. I'm out all day tomorrow, Saturday, so I won't be doing anything in here, but I won't be back late. The archery course finishes about 3. I should be back here by 4, half 4. That leaves me plenty of time to get this outside if tomorrow night's temperature is going to be suitable, and then I haven't got to worry about them on Sunday. But I did a bonsai update, which is on the Gardening and Bonsai channel now. That's over there, and I've just filmed a full garden update where I've gone over the whole garden, all the plants, you know, how well things have done this year, what's left to do, and what I'm expecting, you know, for next year. Looking forward to the spring and everything. I know this year's not finished yet, but that's how gardening works. You look forward to the things that are, you know, are going to come. So that video I will post tomorrow, because I won't be filming in here tomorrow. So there'll be one on the gardening channel tomorrow if you want to pop across there. And if you do pop across there to watch any of the videos on that channel, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. That applies to this channel as well. You know, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, it would be nice if you did so. Also, the old thumbs up, don't forget that. I'm glad these are going back outside. We don't need things like that in here, do we? Not really. Garden spider. This time of year they can get really large in the garden, and they're everywhere. Look, there's another one up there. They're everywhere out in the garden. I mean, there's 2 just on these plants. 3. There's another tiny one there. So, but you know, once these come back in for good, and I sort out where everything's going to go, I will get the, you know, the hot box will be on, so that we don't get spiders breeding in here. The thing is, those get killed off later in the year with the cold, so they don't, you know, they're not there. In here, they would probably breed and survive, because it's not going to get so cold, is it? So we don't want them in here, basically. I mean, if there's anything like that in here, that sort of size, Hannah won't come out here for a start. She doesn't like them at all. I'm not too keen. I'm alright as long as they're not on me, but I'd prefer them not to be around. But I mean, certainly in the garden they do some good. Although, yes and no. A while back on the gardening channel, I filmed what I thought was a butterfly, and it turned out to be a moth, and it was a Jersey tiger. First one I'd ever seen. Well, one of the spiders got that and turned it into a cocoon. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. Anyway, I'm just going to pull this out the way, because we do have a new bloom, not fully open yet, but we can at least have a look, can't we? The dehumidifier's on at the moment, so there's a little bit of noise there, but it's not too loud. It's not like the old hydrofogger used to be. But Blackjack's opened up. It's not fully open yet. Lovely deep rich colours, and what I like about this one more than some of the other Paphiopedilums, it's as though somebody's varnished it. It's glossy. So yeah, I'll probably put a stake on that to hold it upright once it's fully open, because the blooms last quite a long time. So yes, and the buds on the old Victoria Regina are pushing on. So we've got cluster on either side of that cane, another cluster up there. And we do have a new growth that looks quite strong. It hasn't grown much yet, but we do have a new growth at the base at long last. So that's good. Let's get this back out the way. It's got to go over to one side because of the heater. This is something I've got to be aware of. The heater has to have a clear path to the door without any orchids being in the direct line of fire. Because even though the oscillating fan comes on at the same time, there are periods when the oscillating fan is blowing to the left or to the right and not down the centre, at which point the air from the heater would reach over towards the door. So I don't want any orchids in its line of fire, you know, which means once these Cymbidiums come in, you know, we'll have to get something sorted. But the only reason this shelf isn't here at the moment, it could be, but we've got a Phalaenopsis there. Well, they're all going to go in the kitchen soon, quite soon, in the next couple of weeks. So if I put the piece of wire on there, that gives me another platform. And what I'm hoping to do is that the Disas are going to go here, or some of them at least. I'm clearing off those tables, and those tables are going to go out. That way this can go right up against the glass and over towards that shelf. That's my plan. So okay, I won't be able to get at those plants, but when I want to get at those plants, this will just move across on the wheels. So that'll save rearranging the whole of the grow room. This just becomes something that has no permanent place. And then the Cymbidiums will be displayed really well up on here. They can be squashed up together a bit better than that. I mean, I wanted them spread out so that some could go down there. All right, come on then, Noisy. Come on then. Just as he goes out, the sun goes in. He won't stay out there long without the sun, it's too cold. Yes, so that's the idea, is that the Cymbidiums will still be on here. They'll still get plenty of light because they're on a high shelf effectively, and the spikes will have plenty of room to go up towards the roof. So this just becomes a movable shelf, and other plants can go on that lower shelf as well. I mean, I might even put some of the Disa trays on there. Now with the Disas, these seed trays that I'm using are not deep enough. I want them in deeper water. You know, that guy said, you know, his stand in over 2 inches of water permanently, and these have only got just over 1 inch. So I might try and find some other trays for them to go in, and they need to be strong trays so that I can pick them up when they've got water in them. These seed trays are, when they've got the plants and the water in them, they become flimsy. You know, you've only got this little rim to get your fingers under, you know, and they're too heavy to be carried around. There's going to be an accident, I'm going to drop one or something. So I need to find something. What I thought was, you know, the tray that I use when I'm repotting, that sort of tray, I mean, that was actually a cat litter tray, but something like that, that's sort of 3 or 4 inches deep and is strong, really strong. And a couple of those for the Disas might be a good idea, but I'm still thinking about that. They're okay where they are for now. For now. And we're nearly up to the maximum number of pots. I've got this pot. I'm not going to repot that one. I'm going to see how well that one does without being repotted, because the new growths are spread out, they've got room, and there's 2 lovely strong new ones in the middle that will bloom. So I'm not going to repot that one. I'll see how well that does, which leaves this one. This is the only one left to split and deal with. So there aren't going to be too many more pots. All these have all been done over here. So I'm nearly up to the, you know, this one, I think, it looks like it's going to go into 2. Now, I don't think it's going to go, it won't go into 4. This corner here has got next to nothing in it. It's got just those 2 little bits. So those can be broken off and put in with that, I think that'll split into two, and that's not getting repotted. So there's only going to be 2 more pots on top of what I've already got, which is a nuisance because 6, 6, 6, 6, 1. Where's the other one going to go? If that splits into 2, I've got 1 pot too many. Well, there's this one as well. I mean, I've just stood that in a, in a shallow tray for now. But anyway, so we'll be working on how the Disas are going to, spend the winter and then on into next year. I want them in deeper water, basically. The new peat is not wicking up as well as I thought it would. Probably because it was placed in there quite loosely and not packed in, which I don't want to do. That it will gradually settle as time goes on, but yeah, it's not wicking as well as I thought it would. So the way round that is to have deeper water. It is a bit, no, I won't say costly. My water, I was worried to death when I moved in here, and I thought I've got a water meter, so I'm going to get a water bill. My water bill that's just come in, not the sewerage, that's separate. My water bill for my metered water, got a credit this time. And that, if you think how much the hose pipe got used in the summer, and I got a credit, so I paid too much, and I, I think I pay about £9 a month or something like that. So the amount I have to pay for my water, I don't care. I was worried about things like the RO unit costing a fortune, but it doesn't. So, talking of which, I need to get that. No, I'm going to leave it till Sunday. It's too cold out there today to be messing about. But yeah, the Disas they're going to be not expensive to run cost-wise, but time-wise, because of constantly changing the water. So the pots have got to be lifted out so that the water can be emptied. Possibly the trays might need, washing out if there's any algae forming or anything, and then they've got to be filled up with RO water. That's going to use quite a bit, and the guy said you need to be changing your water at least once a week. So I mean, he changes his water most of the time with rainwater, so he does it slightly differently. But yeah. And also, a couple of times next year, they're going to want a bit of feed. Not much, but just a little bit. And that will have to be poured through. So that will have to be fed in from the top. I'm not putting it in the trays. I'm not sure that's the way I want to do it. I'll have a think. Well, hopefully I'll have a chat with the guy. Providing the archery takes place on the days it's supposed to, given that the notice that came through with the joining instructions said the course is only cancelled in extreme weather. So it sounds like if it's a bit drizzly and a bit miserable, they're going to carry on. So hopefully it won't get cancelled and rearranged for the following week, which means I will be going to the Bournemouth Orchid Society show. And the guy that I bought the Disas from often goes to that show. I will drop him an email asking him if he's going to the show, because I will be there. But the trouble is, I might not be, because, if the weather forecast is bad enough that they know in advance it's going to be a rubbish day, then they will rearrange it. But and that will be last minute. They probably notify us on Friday that it's cancelled for Saturday and will be rearranged for the following week. So we won't know until the last minute. So there we go. These 2 buds are pushing on now. This is Coleogyne lawrenceana, I think it is. So I'll twist the pot round. No, it's not. It's speciosum. Keep doing that. Keep getting that one wrong. But it's the only... Oh, I was going to say it's the only Coleogyne in bud, but it's not. I won't be able to show you the others because it's this one up the back. But this cluster of new growths here has spikes coming. That's there, you can just see it on the end of my finger. and 2 of those have spikes at the moment out of the 4. So we've got spikes coming out the top of that. That one is... that's Lawrenceana. That's why I was getting in the muddle, so there is buds on it. Anyway, that's going to have to do for today. Sorry it's not really a proper one, it's just discussing plans and things, but we will not be filming tomorrow. I'm out all day. The weather's going to be nice tomorrow, so there's no chance of it being cancelled. And even if one of the trainers was ill, there's enough for the course to take place. You know, if one of the trainers couldn't come, there's still enough of them to, I think it's about 4. They split us into groups of 3 and 4. So no filming tomorrow. Sunday chat as normal on Sunday. And any suggestions for our sort of spotlight or topic on Sunday will be gratefully received. Otherwise, you get what you're given. I always give you the chance. You can always ask. You know, if you don't ask, you don't get, as they say. But yeah, suggestions are always appreciated. You might not get what you ask for, but if you don't ask, you definitely won't get it. And I'll see you again on Sunday. And don't forget, as I say, there's not many people are interested in the bonsai. I understand that as a bit of a specialist sort of thing. But the video's over there on the Gardening and Bonsai channel. And on Saturday, there's a full garden update where we have a look at all the shrubs and what's going on with the ground cover on the gravel beds and everything, which has taken off a bit. And I'll see you on Sunday. Thanks for dropping by. And as a plant, these are a nuisance. They're far too big. But when they start coming into bloom, everybody will go, ah, smashing, great, lovely blooms. So they are worth it. And the blooms last a long time. And providing you've got a reasonably vigorous plant that puts up a number of new growths, you've got a number of spikes. And they may well be staggered, and the blooming period for each plant lasts even longer. And they are, you know, some of them are showstoppers. So I am prepared to put up with them. And the fact that we've got to do inside for part of the year and outside for part of the year, I'm happy to do all that. But I'm not getting any more unless I can find some more genuine miniatures, in which case I might. There's room for a few more miniatures, but no more biggies. So the only colour I haven't got is white. I've got yellow, I've got red, I've got pink, I've got green, you know, and I've got bronze, I've got, you know, so we've got the colour range, apart from white. I haven't got a pure white one, or a white one with a, you know, with a coloured lip, patterned lip. But some miniatures, I can accommodate those if I ever come across them. See you next time. Thanks for dropping by.